everyone, and welcome to the 21st episode of Ascent Talks. My name is Ajit. I've been an Ascent member for over 10 years, and I lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. My co-host is Aleem. Unfortunately, he's not able to join us due to a family emergency, but I hope everything works out great for him. So, as usual, we have wonderful guests today here. And before I actually bring them on, I want to actually just share what Ascent is all about. Ascent is a not for profit expression of Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Limited, and his passion to identify high potential growth stage entrepreneurs and enable them to grow their enterprise and enrich their entrepreneurial journey. Launched in 2012, Ascent today empowers more than 850 entrepreneurs across India. Ascent is designed as a unique, powerful, peer-to-peer platform that leverages the power of the collective through self-facilitated groups called trust groups, which enables entrepreneurs to share and exchange experiences, ideas, insights, and create a healthy ecosystem to learn from each other. So today's event, a weekly event, Ascent Talks, showcases Ascent members and their interesting entrepreneurial journeys. So today, for the first time, we have siblings, owners who have second generation entrepreneurs, two great friends of mine who are here today to join the Ascent Talk session. Hello, Karan. Hello, Mona. Great to have you with us here today.
Hi Ajit, pleasure to be on this show with you. So I think 21st episode is also the number 21 is very good for us. Our dad is born on 21st, so everything his favorite number goes as per that. So it's good that we are on your 21st
Amazing.
episode as well.
That's amazing. And that's purely coincidental, guys. There is no
Yeah,
thought process behind this. It's just purely coincidental.
good things
But
happen
awesome,
with.
guys. That's true. But to our viewers, Mona and Karan Sharma are actually siblings, the directors at Marshall Enterprises Private Limited. Karan is a commerce graduate with distinction from R.A. Podar College of Commerce. He has been a part of Marshall since 1999 and now leading it since June 2020. Mona has equally been with Marshalls, and she is a designer I know personally from a profession, but hardcore right in the front line of building Marshalls. So, actually, Karan, let's get started with you. Karan, why don't you tell us a little to our viewers what's Marshall all about? Tell us about Marshalls.
So Marshalls as a company started in 1975 by our father. It started as a wallpaper company, and over the years we have been extremely known, probably the biggest brand in India for wallpapers. And that is something which has continued over the years. To be in this industry or any industry for 48 years means you have done something good. You are pretty honest and sincere towards your client, and that is what we have been. That we are very extremely customer focused and very strong in our ethics as far as our own working goes. So we have been always focused on wall coverings, wallpapers as our core strength, which includes retailing, which includes wholesaling, doing projects. So everything, doing from right the lower price section to doing the absolute high end. So everything we like to call us ourselves as like the house of wallpapers, right? So that's what we have been doing. But as we move forward in this conversation, I'll tell you what changes we have been doing to grow this brand further and use this prominence into other areas of other fields as well.
That's amazing, yeah. But tell me something, I know, and I want to bring this up with Mona. Mona, I have always known you for such a long time, and you always say that, no, we're not. We compete with the paint. We don't. We're completely replacing them. And tell us what are the kind of opportunities that this industry holds primarily. And I know you've been among the pioneers when it's come to wall coverings or wallpaper, as the market would call it. What are the kind of opportunities that this industry really holds? I think you kind of muted, so you might have to unmute yourself first. Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Uh, Jeet, you know my passion for wall coverings. I truly believe in the product, and anything which is fast, convenient, and hassle-free is the product for today. So that is what wall coverings offer. It's fast. Within 2 hours, a wall is done. Within 6 hours, an entire room is done. Over the weekend, an entire office is done. So no mess, no smell, very convenient. That's the product. Why would one go into the pain of painting? I'm unable to understand. All developing countries, 70% is wall coverings. Everything else, paint, laminate, veneer, back painted glass, marble, everything is 30% of the walls. 70% is wall coverings. That's the potential and scope that wall coverings have in India.
That's
I'll just
amazing.
like to put up is wherever there's a wall, we have a potential market. So the possibilities are endless.
Also ceiling.
Amazing.
Of course.
So which means you haven't left any space kind of where you haven't covered in the house or in an office completely. You just completely covered it. But
Yeah,
Mona, I just want to go before
now we do doors and wardrobes also with
I was
edges
coming to that too.
protected.
Amazing. So before I go back to Karan, I want to actually take from you. You both of you are second generation entrepreneurs. Tell our viewers that your dad started this business. You took it to a great level. What are the big changes that you guys have brought in? I'd like to hear it first from you, Mona, and then from Karan. So as to what are the big changes that you have brought after you guys have taken over this industry or this company?
Okay, so firstly, onboarding us onto the business, I think my dad's done a great job. He showed us the great picture, and we jumped to the option. Uh, Very dynamic leader, someone who's carried the brand on his own, built it and taken it forward. So I'm quite my dad's bhakt. I feel that if I do whatever he did 20 years ago and do it with as much commitment, I'll go 20 times plus to where business is. So for me, it's more the emotional connect. I think the right communication would come from Karan on this.
Over to you, Karan. It seems the heart space is already occupied, so you're going into the mind
Yeah.
space. So please tell us what.
No, I think when you start leading a company, there are what you figure. Obviously, you have a platform on which you base your things on, and then you with your own experience, because we have also been in the industry for many years. So with your own experience, you want to. Um, I wouldn't say experiment, but you would say hedge your bets on things which you believe also in. So as I mentioned earlier, we obviously Marshalls has been very renowned for wallpapers, wall coverings since for 4 decades plus, and now we're trying to use that as a platform to also get into other product lines. So. For example, we started with doing our own furnishings. We have been into retailing for last 12 years as far as furnishing goes. Now we also in the last few years we have created a Marshall's design studio where we come out and make our own designs. So what we have done is we have used that, got our own collections made of furnishings. So now we have introduced furnishings into the market, retailing our own brand as well as distributing it. We set up our own design studio. Uh, we we were into manufacturing till 2007, which we came out as imports became more and more prevalent and the technology got old. But now in recently we again got back to manufacturing. We set up our own digital machines. Around 4 years back we had zero machines, and now we have four of them. We are printing nearly 90,000 square feet a month of
Wow.
wallpapers just with those machines, and that's where the design studio is also helping. So we have a target of doing one collection a quarter from our own design studio, printed and made, manufactured in India, make in India kind of thing which the government has been propagating. So we've got back to the manufacturing roots as well. So we started with another segment called Quick Homes, which is being led by Mona. which is doing up complete interiors where wallpapers, furnishings, everyone is a part of that. So a lot of changes we are trying to do, where we are trying to get into home as a category rather than just wallpapers, but use our goodwill, our brand, for not only doing wallpapers, which everyone loves of ours, and has been using for 4 decades plus, but also use the coordinated other products that we are getting in. So now it's not just walls, but homes, that as a category that we are looking and going about.
That's amazing. Yeah. Karan, our viewers are primarily business owners. Okay. They're all challenges. And I'm going to ask you a question which I want both of you guys to be really honest, because this is what they've all messaged me even before once the promo started yesterday.
Okay.
As parents, we are all parents, siblings have rivalry and they will fight. Okay. How do you guys manage? Do you guys still fight? Or how does it come in the way of actually building and scaling a business? How do you guys handle that?
So I think the fighting starts from a young age, and it continues. So it's something which you are used to, right? If you don't fight, then you feel something is wrong with each other. That why are you not fighting? So that's something right from birth. Especially me being the younger one is always the oppressed one, who has to listen.
So that's too good. Okay. Mona, you have to respond. We need to pick up that fight on the screen today. Okay. Go for it, Karan.
So anyway, so obviously, when you're again in business, you have different thoughts, different processes, different ways of thinking. And I think when our father was proactive, we had two different set of fields in which we were growing, and we were specializing in. Like, for example, Mona has always been heading the retail aspect of the business, whereas I have always been into the trading part, the manufacturing. I mean, okay, everything apart from retailing I have been doing. So it's like, Mona has been the front part, and I have been the back end part of business. And I think somewhere we recognize each other's efforts, which is going on, and we have given each other space. And I think that was when our father also wanted to get out of business. He also wanted that, okay, if who controls or who heads the organization becomes the question, right? Because if two people do it, then of course there's again the issues of which direction the other person wants to go, and that starts creating the rift. So Mona and me also had a talk. So because of that respect level that we hold for each other, and we know what I know I cannot have marshals without Mona, and I hope she also recognizes that with my end. So with that thing in mind, there is always flexibility in what one wants to do, how one wants to do. If there is a question, then the other person has to convince the other person. So it cannot be a dictation kind of atmosphere, but more about convincing about your own thoughts. And if the other person gets convinced, then obviously you go in that direction. So I think that's what give and take is as you call diplomacy, is what is something which gets at its highest level. But as long as there's mutual respect for each other, I think that things can continue. Because of course you have seen around the world, and I know so many examples where siblings coming in, obviously though both want separate things in life, and the companies have got divided. So for us right now, that's not the case. We quite united, and I hope, touch wood, that we continue in the same joint efforts as we have been doing for the past so many years.
It's amazing. It's absolutely good. But you both are good friends of mine. So, Mona, he's the younger one. He's oppressed. You're the older one and privileged. That's right. Correct?
That's absolutely right. I would take it like that.
Amazing.
Uh, so I am my dad's favorite. So I get that advantage. When I hear that, women fighting for their rights and all that, I really feel out of place, because my brother should be fighting for those rights, not me. So yeah, having said that, see, it's very important that one person leads the organization, and both Karan and me know have very different perspectives to things. A small example, like I joined a college, at 78% in 10th. I joined a college where I got direct entry. Okay, कि यहाँ मुझे waiting list की wait नहीं करनी, and I'm getting in. At 84%, he waited for the best college to get into, even if his name was in the fourth list. So it's
Amazing.
a different mindset, different perspective. I think more from the heart, and he is more driven with numbers, with statistics, and so on. So when it comes to leading the organization, you need somebody who works in the mind space, which is where Karan taking the lead makes that much more sense for marshals. Uh, Having said that, I'm quite the go-getter. So uh, communicating with people, being out there, adds so much to me as an individual, and I'm ready to take that as a challenge always. So I had the privilege to choose what I want to do. Karan didn't have that. So in all
That
those
is
ways,
so amazing. That is amazing.
uh,
Truly amazing, actually.
I think we add that value to the business, to the enterprise, and I think we are in a great space. And it's not just the two of us; it's also us, our better halves, who
And I
are a
want to
part
come to
of this
that.
journey.
Actually, I want to come to that, and
So before that, Ajit, just that when Mona said about women and not fighting for her rights but getting it, one of the great things about marshals is so many of our team leaders or the heads of departments are actually women outnumber men in terms of in our company, in fact in terms of leading so many departments. So that's a very unique thing to have as an organization, where today people are waking up to the fact, oh, women should be more leading and should be more upfront in terms of in the companies and quota system. But our organization, right from the beginning, because my mother was equally involved in the business right from start, I think that has never been a determination factor, about who leads or which whether women get enough representation in the company. So that's been a great thing about the company, and I think having Mona also up top, helps in telling people that women are a great and are a leading part of this organization and a driving force.
amazing. See, because you had your both mom and dad in the business, both the siblings are in the business, your spouses are in this business. Now, it sounds great for everyone who sees it, that there's like seems to be like a perfect picture. But all of us who've been in business and who've been in family business know it's never so easy. So you must share with the viewers as to how did you guys get it right, and what are the challenges that come around this, because these are people from different generations, different aspirations. And how did you get it right? And you've really scaled up and you've done well for yourself, and this mutual respect is also pretty much well showcased here. So to Mona, to start with, how do you actually channelize these family aspirations and then all working together in business? How does that happen?
So Ajit, to a very great extent, on my behalf, I would definitely thank Pratap, okay, for bringing in that balance. The headstrong person that I am, to deal with me, to handle me, and still, be ready to play the supporting role. And without his, complete support, and with the family being together, I don't think I would be where I am today. So a great role, and he's always been that support. uh, from day one, the culture with which we've been brought up by our parents, okay, and we've always had our areas of work chalked out. So while we respect each other, we also know what are our boundaries, so we will not jump that. And that demarcation really really works well, primarily to give us freedom to work in our space, at the same time respect somebody else's space. So
It's
I
amazing.
think Aarti came in the last in the family, but she's been here for 15 years and completely taking charge of the furnishings business. I think we've just all grown into the business, and so long as there is that mutual respect and space, things are things are great.
Amazing. So, Karan, I just want you to throw some inputs onto the business. Now, see, you sell a product which is so brand driven, and you spend so much time and carefully building the brand. But unfortunately, your brand, your product doesn't carry the brand name, right? How challenging is that? And also the factor that you want to open up so many exclusive outlets across the country. How does this work? I mean, what are the difficulties that you faced? What are the failures that you had, and how have you navigated this differently?
Um, so it's about whether we as an what do we say, as an organization, uh, it's sometimes funny that our brand name sometimes supersedes our product. Like, I have met so many people who said, oh, Marshall's very nice brand, lovely company, but wallpaper lagaya kya nahi, wallpaper nahi lagaya. So it's like they respect the brand, but not enough respect for the product that we sell. So it's kind of it's kind of funny in those respects. I think wallpapers as a product, like Mona mentioned earlier, is a fantastic product. Has got far superiority as compared to any other wall finish. One of the areas that we have been lacking in terms of growing to a very big scale has been the kind of advertising promotion levels that you do, because you're up against something, a behemoth like paint industry, whose,
Right.
I think, advertising budget combined will be uh, bigger than wallpaper turnover in the entire country. So
True.
you know who sell that, oh, painting, everyone knows painting is one of the worst things you can go through, but the way they fascinate you on the ad film, you want to paint it yourself. So that's the thing that you are fighting against. So of course, selling paint is a different thing, selling wall coverings, wallpapers is a different thing. So for us, it's more about creating that kind of atmosphere, creating that beautiful look within a showroom, where a customer comes, because you're not it's not a commodity selling. Unlike a paint, wallpaper selling is not a commodity selling. You need interior designers to help customer choose what can go best with their surroundings. So there are a lot of inputs which happen. There are so much variety in wallpapers that you can't sell it in a hardware store. You need beautiful showrooms, showcase the product in its splendor, to help sell the product in a good way. So that's how we have been going about building showrooms. Of course, building any brick and mortar store has its own challenge, because it's not about just the product but also the people who ultimately run it. So that challenge always will remain. uh, of course,
How
we
many showrooms are you right now across the country?
so we are around, including our own and the company, including our own and the franchisees, there would be around 25 to 30 stores right
Amazing.
now. But we are also now focused more also getting on the e-commerce bandwagon, where of course, opening a store means X number of cost, whereas if you can do things online, that helps you to curtail your costs and still
True.
keep expanding. So that is, we've built, again, in the last 4 years, we have built our e-commerce right from zero. So that's something which is taken off. Obviously, it's very low right now as compared to our entire sales, but that is something which we believe can help us in the future multiply things faster as compared to opening a brick and mortar store. A brick and mortar store, our outlook is that in the future maybe have one big showroom in the entire city, and the everything else is goes through the
Through a
e-com,
digital platform.
through the digital platform.
Amazing. So we just
So
got
again,
about 5 minutes.
answering
So
answering
sorry.
your
Go ahead, Mona.
question a little more, in terms of brand not being visible on the wall,
Yeah.
it's always a customer perception. You know,
Right.
paints also, you don't have the brands visible, but you carry that to the dealer, you carry that to the customer, to your friend circle, and so on. So I think brand is more a perception than just the name being out there. We are in the
Brilliant. I think
decor
that's a
business. People would not want to see the name onto the product.
amazing. Really good. So so the other thing that I really wanted to know is it I mean, we have about 5 minutes. So, I would like to know from you individually about your Ascent journey and also a little personal side of yours. Forget about the business, your personal hobbies, all about yourself. And how did this whole Ascent journey start with you? Mona, you go first, and then I'll go to Karan. How did it all start? Tell us about a little about your personal side and how did the Ascent journey come across and what's been your learning around it?
Um, so I was a part of BNI, and somewhere some friend mentioned Ascent, and I went in, logged in, got an interview call, got started. Over the years, I've also been a member for 10 plus years. I think the whole perspective, that's got added to me as a person is very, very different. Uh, the bringing together of 10, 12 entrepreneurs in a similar kind of a business space to understand the challenges that a business faces, and there are so many of them, uh, brings in a lot of value. It's built my character, it's given me a great kind of exposure, it's got me a great sounding board, and whenever I need being able to
Yeah, I guess we're just losing Mona on that internet out there. So
Yeah.
I guess Karan, why do you want to just share your Ascent journey and a little about your personal? We've got about a few minutes before we actually wind up the show.
Yeah, so I think I was introduced to Ascent by Mona because she was the one who first joined in Ascent, and in those days I think two people from the same company were not allowed, and then later on it was brought in. So I think I have also been a part of Ascent for 7 years now with my group Phoenix. So again, it's been a good journey, a lot of learnings from my fellow entrepreneurs. I think it's the Ascent is all about learning from each other's experiences, and that is what I have been personally doing for the last so many years with Ascent. It's a great bunch of people in my group, and again, a lot of learnings of how learnings about managing family, also managing business as well. Managing so many other factors, your banking, your commercials, so a lot of learnings have come from Ascent, and I think it's been a great experience from me for being part of Ascent, and I hope it just continues on and on.
That's awesome. So before we wind up, we just have about 2 minutes. I know of one thing that you've been doing for so many years, which is the wow thing that you've been doing, and it's been a huge success that happens in the month of April. So, Mona, you want to share with our viewers as to what is this whole wow thing that you actually work on, which is like many other companies now trying to emulate that same kind of a scene. So, share with us that.
See, it's been 16 years now, and we are still waiting for people to be able to, copy that. Or it comes with a very simple thought by my dad, which says, "Dene se ghatta nahi hai." Keep giving more. And the energy and the positivity that Wow brings into our organization, it's our founders day offer, wherein this year, as that turns 76, we'll be offering a 76% more to our clients on the
Mm.
amount that they pay us during those 4 days of the offer. uh, it's a learning on its own. I would request Ascent for a half an hour session for me to be able to explain how Wow works.
Yeah,
So it's
absolutely great. Yeah,
so
please
so
go ahead, Karan.
normally in a sale you are under stress कि अरे वो ले लो नहीं तो वो stock खत्म हो जाएगा and things will be over. So ours is not a sale; it's a value addition. You pay now and buy whenever you want, but you are blocking your
Amazing.
value addition in those 4 days by paying that amount.
Amazing. Absolutely great. So, both Karan and Mona, thank you so much. It's been very inspiring to hear both of you, especially how, as a family, you have stuck together and you've grown consistently. You both are amazing people, and what an amazing company you built. So, thank you very much for coming today on the Ascent Talks and sharing this little story. And wish you all the best for WOW and for lots of many more successes for Marshalls. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Ajit,
Ajit.
for having us. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. All right, guys. So that was the 21st episode of Ascent Talks. So before we just kind of wind up, I have just two things that you should probably think of considering doing. If you think that the Ascent Talks, which is now 21 weeks nonstop every Friday at 11 o'clock, follow us at the LinkedIn at Ascent Foundations. Share this with other interesting entrepreneurs who you think will enjoy this show. And if you are a growth ready entrepreneur and you want to be part of the Ascent cohort, get to ascentfoundation.in and put in an application out there. Please remember, the Ascent membership is not something that you can actually just pay a fees and just get in. Put in an application, the Ascent team gets in touch with you. There is a discussion around it. And if you are truly a growth ready entrepreneur, then we'll be happy to have you as our cohort. So ascentfoundation.in. So thank you very much, and see you next Friday with another interesting entrepreneurial story of an Ascent member. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful weekend.